everybody. We are doing the cosplay panel today. Over on the right side of the page, you guys can enter questions too if you have like anything specific for us. We might not get to it, but if you have something that you really want us to answer, you can like be annoying and repeat it and I'll see it because I'll be paying attention to a lot of those. But we also have a ton of stuff that we brainstormed together and like kind of came up with that we think will be really beneficial to everybody here. So let's start with just introducing ourselves. I think the screen looks the same for all of us, right? So like Raven's first. Is it showing that way for you? And then I'm second and then, okay, cool. So we'll just start first if you want to. And then like,
sure, no problem.
Go around.
Hey guys, I'm Raven Noir. I'm a cosplayer, gamer, and content creator.
Do you want to also say like, what's like your favorite thing you've cosplayed too, just for like shits and giggles?
For sure. Probably my favorite cosplay that I've done so far is an original character from World of Warcraft. So that was pretty cool to kind of bring my own character to life. So that was really neat. It was my first big armor build too, so I was very proud of that.
Sick. Skip me. I'll go last.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh.
I can go last.
Hey, I'm Ellie Idle, and I've been cosplaying since 2001, and doing cosplay porn since 2006. I think my favorite character to cosplay is probably Catwoman. I don't know. I just think it's a really badass look.
I'm OmankoVivi. I started cosplaying probably in high school. I just started getting into cosplay porn really hardcore like the last couple years. And my favorite thing to cosplay is going to be Harley Quinn because she's really exciting and fun to play with. And her persona is like crazy, which is really exciting. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Little Puck. I've always dressed up forever, but I didn't really start like cosplaying until porn, which showed me a whole wide world of ways to explore cosplay. And then I'd say my favorite cosplay, to be really cheesy, is from my favorite video game. It's Midna from Twilight Princess Legend of Zelda, because that video game series has got me through tough times. So, yeah.
Nice. So I'm Kat, Catjira. I've only been cosplaying for 5 years, ever since I got into sex work and porn. That's when I started. I do chatterbait and content creation, mainly on OnlyFans, and I'm starting to do a lot more on Pornhub. And my favorite thing that I've cosplayed would probably be video game franchise 2, which is Lara Croft, anything with her, because I just like really find her attractive for some reason. So that's me. I'm curious. So we all cosplay and there's like kind of different cosplays communities, right? So we have like the normal one that goes to like Comic-Cons and stuff, but we're adult. We focus on adult content and platforms. How do you guys like shift your cosplay into something that's pornographic and for your audience that is an adult audience? Because this is sexy cosplaying. What exactly are you doing to bring that to this world? Raven.
Oh, sorry.
Do you want to go in order? Do we just want to like?
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
Because we can totally just like go in, you know. Like, we want to do this. Yeah.
I think it's pretty easy because it's a pre-made character. It's there for you. It has the set, the props, the type of phrases and like things, and it's so easy to make puns in porn, as we all know. And having these like props like within different like media worlds and games and whatever we're pulling it from, I feel like it's like pretty easy to incorporate that into building your own little fantasy world because you already have one. You just have to try to recreate it as best you can and like.
Just building off of what Lil Puck just said, I definitely agree with that. And I think fans also appreciate and notice when you hide like little Easter eggs kind of in your content in the background, whether it's like a little prop or even if you're mentioning something that happened in a game or a movie, it just kind of like gets them even more excited and pumped up about your content.
Mm-hmm. I love doing Easter eggs like in video games.
It's the best.
But like I'll do it. So I just filmed stuff from Krampus. But in the background, I have a little gizmo from Gremlins, which is totally not Krampus, but it's kind of a Christmas movie. So I just like stuck him out of a present, like just for fun, for people to
Adorable.
My favorite Easter egg I've done is I put in my Princess Zelda one, I put treasure chests hidden in scenes. There's like 7.
That's amazing.
Do you guys ever
But like if you found all of them,
like if they like find the Easter eggs, do you do things like reward your fans for being like a fan of?
I definitely do.
That's cool idea.
No, but that's really smart, and I'm gonna steal that. That's genius.
Yeah, I think like the whole point of me, like when I do cosplay, is I want to kind of forcefully put my like obsession and like what I nerd out about on my fan base, and then try to get them excited about it too, because they'll end up. I know they're gonna like whatever book, video game, movie I'm doing. So like when I do things like that, I always drop hints before, like weeks before. Hey, you guys should watch this show. Because like something's coming out, you know what I mean? And then they'll get excited about the random stuff we're nerding out about, like treasure chests and things that are like in the content too.
People can really tell when you're a fan of the character, I think.
Exactly.
Do you guys ever do stuff that you don't know? Like when you're picking cosplays, are you doing like fan services that you don't know anything about, but your audience kind of knows?
I've done that before. Like I do custom cosplay content, and sometimes people will commission an outfit for me and I know nothing about the character. And it is so much harder to make content not knowing a character. So it's always way better to just pick something you love, because like Ellie was saying, like people can tell right away if you love a character in like that world.
Yeah.
So
there's only been
Whenever
one.
I feel like, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Whenever I feel like I get a custom or like a commission for a character that I don't know, but like I know that like I could make some money off of it for like doing other stuff, I always just like look at their wiki page and then like watch their top scenes on YouTube or something to get a feel of them. It helps me a lot. And then sometimes I just incorporate like stuff from other animes in the background too to help geek it up.
Yeah, watching compilations for the character on YouTube really helps. I had to do that for Faith from Far Cry. Because I had no idea who she was. It was a custom video, and I had to watch it twice just to make sure I had the character down. But it really helped.
Smart.
But I mostly like cosplay characters that I know. So.
You're not opposed to doing stuff you guys don't know? Because I'm not opposed to doing that. I actually thrive in an environment where, even though it's like, oh, you can tell I don't really know what it is, I put in the research and then I end up liking whatever I'm. For example, I've never played The Witcher 3 yet, and I've done so much series stuff because it was custom. And now my fans have sent me like the Witcher game, and we're gonna like play it together, and we can nerd out about it, that type of thing. So it's kind of like some stuff that they recommend I don't necessarily like vibe with, and that's okay. But there's some stuff that like for like the audience, I think it's perfectly fine to do stuff you don't know. If you like, you can like go in with it like that and then nerd out about it with your audience and connect with them and kind of have like a bonding moment where you guys all have something in common, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like opens your horizon.
Yeah. Because I don't watch anime or anything either. But you might recommend something to me and then I'll watch it and then be like, oh shit, you just like totally opened it for me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Changed my world.
So I don't
I feel like a lot of them to share, like I get like comic recommendations like all the time, and so this is a great way to like be like, oh, I'm interested in what you're interested in too, because my fans have great taste. Yeah. How does that happen?
But they have these fantasies in their head too, so like you can come up with like sick porn that so many other like people that are like your audience are going to be into that you didn't even know about, you know? And it's like, oh shit, you just helped me out a ton with my business.
Yeah.
Where do you guys like buy your cosplays from? Are you making it yourself? Are you buying it? Are you piecing it together from like Amazon? How are you putting them together?
I used to make all my own stuff actually when I had a lot more time, but I've kind of steered away from that because it's a lot cheaper nowadays to buy, like a lot cheaper to buy pre-made. There's a site that I go to actually called miccostumes.com. I'm sure some of you have probably purchased from there before, right?
You hooked me up with that one, actually.
I did, yeah, Jennifer, right? Yep. And then another one is EZCosplay.com.
Yeah.
They have a much bigger selection.
Yeah.
And then Amazon sometimes, but I noticed that their prices are a lot more marked up
Yeah, they are.
as opposed to these sites. So,
but Amazon, you get gift cards from your fans.
True,
so
true.
it's kind of like a double-edged sword. I
Yeah.
recommend Etsy. That's where I
Ooh.
make some of my stuff if I'm like being really specific and I like want to put a lot in, but I only do that mainly once a year. But I commission a lot from small businesses on Etsy, and Etsy does do gift cards. So
that's smart, actually.
your fans can like help you with it, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Some of my favorite websites for like more like high quality costumes, if you're looking for something.
Oh, yeah.
Because in my personal opinion, most items on Amazon and MIC costumes or MIC costumes, I think, are like lower quality, which is great for like getting messy and whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking for something like more spicy, I go to AliExpress.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Sometimes it takes a really long time, but a lot of people will like do custom fits for you, which is great. And Uwowo.
What is it?
Uwowo. I'll type it. This one is my favorite website, and they change their stuff all the time. It's really weird, but they have gift cards too. It's great.
.com, right?
I also I recommend checking out Zentai Zone and Heroes Time. They have like a lot of different hero stuff. Like if you want to do like superhero costumes, they have a lot of options there. And also I found this really cool store. It's closed right now because I think of the pandemic and they're restocking, but it's a UK based store. It's called Allure Aurora, and they do a lot of just like, okay, so I got my Wednesday Addams dress there. You can get that pretty much anywhere these days. But she also does really cool handmade pieces that you can get like add to it. So I got a really cool spider harness that has like a spider jewel in the middle that I added to it. So you can just find some really cool pieces on there too.
Cool.
And I recently found a website called wintercraft.com. And if you're looking to get into cosplay, but you don't want to spend a lot of money, I suggest checking them out because you can just buy a PDF file, download it, buy cardstock, and make your own really cool masks out of it. If you're only using it for like a video or a photo set or two, it'll definitely hold up for that.
Yeah.
Do you type those in the chat so people can see the name that are spelled out?
Sure.
Where are you guys getting like your things that are like a little bit extra, like contacts or wigs?
Contacts, I recommend pinkyparadise.com. I need prescription ones, and I've been using them for years with no problems. They're great.
I've literally been using them since high school. They're my favorite. For wigs, Arta Wigs is like my favorite. Their quality is so nice, and you can do anything with them. You can add extensions, you can poof it up, you can do flipping anything.
Yeah. I just use Amazon.
Really? For your wig?
Yeah.
You know, you can find good wigs on Amazon.
Or local shops.
Okay.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Little Puck, where do you get yours? Really?
Amazon.
I have a mix. I do Amazon as well, but I also get mine from Donna Loves Hair. Because she always does like sales sometimes. Like she'll just be like randomly 40% off, and I'm like, oh, thank God, because like they'll be 100 to 200, like, but they're really good front lace, and then she'll do sales, so I never pay full price for it. She always has sales. I mean, I'm on like the email thing, so she's constantly like, here's a coupon, we have a sale.
So check that out.
When I want to go all out, I will. And I always try to get wigs that I can use for multiple characters. Like if I'm spending a lot on a front lace wig, I'm going to make sure that I can utilize that more than once for different stuff. For sure.
100%, yeah. I think cosplayers in general, we're really good at reusing things and repurposing. So we just have an eye for like how to thrift it, how to make it work.
I think that this hobby, it was like a hobby at first and kind of a passion for mine, and then I learned how to monetize it. How do you guys like pay for the supplies and things that you need? Because this is a lot of additional steps to online sex work. We're not just being ourselves. We are like putting in a lot of effort. How are you guys paying for it? What are you doing?
Sometimes, well, actually, a lot of the times, I will try and get it fan funded. So I'll start a campaign on either like OnlyFans or ManyVids and just kind of hype up the content and kind of tell them like what they're going to see when I do get this costume, if I'm going to do photo set in it, if I'm going to do multiple videos, whatever it is, just hype them up because they're going to be so excited that you're excited, and they're going to be so excited to see you in that content and just think that they helped you get that costume. So definitely get your fans to help out for sure.
I follow mine cosplay sponsorships, and what they can do is like I'll usually have the video actually already made, or it'll be on a filming day that I'll offer like flash sales where I will be in the cosplay and then film like a 3 to 4 minute vid, but just for them, their eyes only, you know, like exclusive. So they're helping me buy all the costuming, the props, the cameraman, like whatever the fuck. And also getting like something amazing in return.
It's like extra labor, I think, but it works out because they're like investing in your business. I crowdfund too. So I used to be on MFC, but I'm sure a lot of people know that I've left. And now I'm on Chatterbait. MFC had like a huge gold crowdfunding thing, like ManyVids. And I just discovered how I've struggled a lot on OnlyFans for a while and how to monetize it and do really well. And I'm starting to figure it out. But you can do campaigns on OnlyFans as well. And I did that. And it's so awesome because I promise these rewards when they tip. They get X amount of rewards. When we reach certain milestones, I'll send out like a new video or something. But because of the campaign that's on OnlyFans, you can click on the tip amount next to your likes, and then you can see everyone that's tipped and what they've tipped, and you can message all of them. So once the content is complete, I'm going to send out a discounted message to everyone that contributed. So like it's like an extra perk to just tipping to help fund it. That's how I fund a ton of my stuff, is that way, or my fans will just straight up buy it for me, and I do like personal stuff for them as well, like videos or pictures or stuff like that.
I didn't know about OF campaigns, so I'm gonna have to start doing that.
Get on it.
I just did it for the first time last month and killed it because of like people see it, they see a goal, it's tangible,
Right.
there's teamwork, and you can.
They all get excited.
Yes, and that platform, like figuring out that platform has been like.
And you can pin it to the top of your page, so they have to scroll by it.
That's so nice.
And then I'll just be like, everyone that's contributed, like by this date, I'm gonna send out this thing, and then you get more and more people to contribute, and it's all nicely there, so you can see what amount. So if you want to do spreadsheets for like different tiers or stuff, it makes it so much easier. I don't know. I haven't done the ManyVids campaign in like a long time, so I don't know if it's like that where you can message everybody and have like this whole system.
I haven't used that either.
But that's an option as well because they have like the funding thing there too. I suggested it to Model Hub for Pornhub, and I hope that they end up doing that because that would be sick. Because
I've been trying to use their like little fan club.
Oh, you're using that?
Yeah.
How are you utilizing that? Like, what I want to know about your platforms too, and how you're utilizing it, because we're all on like different platforms, and we do really well on all of our individual stuff. So, tell me about us, please.
So I've been using Pornhub more and more lately, which is pretty great. Mostly just teasers and stuff, but like their contest, I just joined their contest for Halloween last month and did this like 9 cosplay, 9 toy kind of video to like hype up the like action of using it. So that got a lot of views, which worked really well. It's another great reason to have cosplays because you can just like literally film different fetishes, different videos, like 5 to 10 different videos in the same cosplay, and that'll earn all your money back.
Yeah.
That's about it. I post like to OnlyFans, but I only do like pay-per-view posts. And then I have like for all the lewds, and then I just post like PGs for free to post. So that works really well.
So your OnlyFans is a free page? Okay. What about everyone else? Where are you at? What you doing?
I find that ManyVids is the best place to sell cosplay content, at least for me.
Okay.
And then I would say Model Hub.
Really?
Yeah.
Because don't you do, please mistake me if I'm wrong, I just stalk, but I could be wrong. Don't you do I Want Clips?
I do, and that's the site that I actually send everybody to for everything. So I post everything there. Cosplay does do well, but I don't know if it's just because I'm sending traffic there.
Okay.
So it is my preferred site.
Okay, but you think Cosplay does like better for you on ManyVids?
Yeah, and I don't really send any traffic there unless there's like a big contest, like the yearly thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like their traffic, they will buy the cosplay stuff more so than anything on that page. So
Yeah,
at least for me.
Okay.
I find the same thing as well.
Yeah.
My cosplay content does the best on ManyVids, but also OnlyFans. I get custom requests through both ManyVids and OnlyFans, so those are my preferred platforms. But I do find I do sell some fetish cosplay videos a fair amount on Clips for sale, but that's, I do a lot of weird fetish things, so that's why.
I feel like superhero stuff does really well on Clips for sale.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so like Catwoman and you know,
Supergirl,
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys. Oh, sorry.
I'm on ManyVids. That's like my big site or whatever. I was cosplayer of the year last year, so yes, it does. This is my crown. I just opened it 10 months of having.
Wear it.
Put it on. Put it on.
You ever find that where you just have like so many projects and like things you want to do with things, they're just like littered around your house because you're just like, you don't know what that's
Don't look on the other side of the camera.
Little Puck, are you doing anything else besides ManyVids, or do you find that ManyVids is like your bread and butter for cosplay?
It was my bread and butter, but OnlyFans has been really good to me this year, and I went really, really hard on it. That's where I start. That's where I do my cosplay sponsorships now, and like my flash sales and things like that. And I get more like intimate with my cosplay there, and I get more lewds and behind the scenes things. So OnlyFans.
Do you guys find that we got a question from the audience about like different kinds of characters? Do you find that more specific characters do well for you than they said archetypes like mermaids? So for cosplay, it's considered character based. That's what I would say a cosplay is, where it's like a character, it has a name, and then something like a mermaid would be a costume. But both the same things. I mean, we're dressing up. What do you find something more general to be more successful, or if you're like very specific into like a fan base, do you think that does better? That's like more niche.
Specific. Specific for sure.
General seems to work for a lot of girls, but it does not work for me. So.
Me too. I find general doesn't work for me. Like, I don't know. I do really specific cosplays and somehow they still do okay. Like I just did the Leshen from The Witcher, which is like a forest monster, and people are excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, specific for me as well. When I do like maid, nobody cares. But like if I'm doing something very niche and using specific tags on like Pornhub and stuff, that does way better. And then even if people don't know what it is, like I said, it's like they'll get curious about it because they're like, well, you have great taste, so let me check it out. And then we can like bond over it essentially and have something in common.
I do feel like cat girls do well though. For some reason,
That's
one of the few generic ones. But
I forgot about cat girls.
Yeah.
How can we
Dude, it's all about being a cow now.
Dude, the cow.
Yep, everyone's a secret warrior.
That's my statement. You're right.
Oh, succubus too. Succubus too.
Succubus.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But like, maid doesn't really do well.
Maid doesn't do well.
Nurse
definitely.
sometimes.
For me, it's like they don't care, but I still try to push it.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Mm-hmm. But you're right. Succubus is huge. Things that are like hugely fantasized about, where like you think maid is like stereotypical like porn that you see. They're not really fantasizing about that kind of stuff. At least my audience isn't. But things like catgirl, succubus, especially, they're like elves into. I don't know why I forgot about all those.
Yeah, I totally did too.
So it's hit or miss. You guys are gonna have to like play around with that, I think, because I'll do stuff and it totally flops. Like I have flops all the time. Do you guys ever have flops and then you're like,
oh yeah,
shit?
Oh yeah.
How do you handle flops?
Sometimes you can revisit a flop though, because I've released Rick and Morty content. I was Rick Sanchez, not very sexy. Yeah, didn't do that well. But then I kind of like bumped it when the last season came out, and it did okay actually.
That's smart.
So,
that's smart.
Yeah.
There's always different platforms that haven't like seen your content that you can like revisit. You know, there's always a different way to market it. GIFs, you know, like the photos, revisiting the vids, like beefing them up, like whatever. But yeah, I love that you did Rick Sanchez because I've been wanting to do that for so long.
And it was pretty funny.
Smart.
I love that. What do you? Okay, so some of us like that will do stuff that's like kind of off the wall you didn't really think about. Do you guys ever get concerned, and how do you handle deciding what you want to do? Because sometimes we think we have a good idea and it could come off problematic. Not that burping's problematic or anything, but I have this problem because I have really dark fantasies, and what I portray is not something I'm trying to get clickbait or like stir the pot. I'm just like, oh shit, that was my fantasy. I didn't realize that it was offensive to you or anything like that. Because I like to do really hardcore dark stuff sometimes. How do you guys handle that, and what is your like advice with that? How to pick cosplays and how to steer clear of cancel culture, essentially.
I would definitely research, you know, and ask for feedback from the community.
That's huge. Yeah.
If it gives you pause, if you're like having to think about it, you should like talk to some friends, like talk to other sex workers, like do your research, see if anyone else has done it. Someone actually came to me, they had some people were calling them out about something and they wanted advice, you know, and because I had done their character or whatever. And yeah, I think it's important to remember that we each have our own different personal boundaries, and those are not the same. They will never be the same. But also respecting the fact that there are different like marginalized identities within our community, and just like being in tune with that. Because it's really important to keep those people safe.
I think that you also, my advice with this is you might be alienating part of your audience. So I've been dipping into sacrilegious content lately because I'm so into that. And I had to make an executive decision. If I put this out here, I might be losing my audience that is religious. And I'm okay with that. Yeah. So you have to make those decisions for yourself. You know, if I put out something, even bad dragon dildos, some people have issues with the fantasy-based dildos. You have to make that decision. Well, if I lose this portion of my audience or fan base, am I going to be okay with that? Am I going to take a financial hit? Am I going to deal with stress of like maybe the community like getting upset with me because I like fucked a werewolf dildo? I don't know. You have to like kind of make those personal decisions. Yeah. But I think thinking, if you have to think twice about it, then you need to sit down and evaluate if it's worth it or not to you.
Can you handle the stress, you know?
Yes. Because I've put things out there that I didn't know. I did Clockwork Orange, which is like, I love it. And I like the movie and the book, and I wanted to make it porn. And I didn't know I didn't think that would upset people. This was 5 years ago when I came out with this, and it did. I don't know if it would today, because I see a lot more like, type things. But at the time, I got my ass handed to me for that. And I was sad because I expressed myself and I put myself out there. And that from now on, when I look at something and I'm like, okay, this might be questionable for some people, whether it's other sex workers or my audience, I need to decide, you know. I think that's something that's really important, because some of us will have these fantasies and things that we want to put out there, and we don't realize that we could get backlash. I think there's a lot more backlash in the community lately, maybe possibly from the stress of the pandemic and this year. Have you guys noticed that, or do you feel differently about even gatekeeping within cosplay?
I feel like the total opposite of all of you. I kind of have that like fuck you attitude. Like if you don't like what I'm doing, then you don't deserve to be here. Like this is my art.
Yeah.
And if something that I'm doing is offending you, I mean, this is the internet, honey, and you're in the sex worker industry. There's like all sorts of fetishes that someone's not gonna like somewhere. I mean, unless you're doing something obviously that is like very problematic and you need to be told about it. Like obviously I don't vibe with like racism and all that stuff. But like people get upset over like consensual non-consent. But like when you're telling everyone like this is consensual, even if it looks non-consensual and they still get upset, I'm just like, go to someone else's store, please. Like, no offense.
I like your attitude. I wish that I could be that way. I don't know if I come off this way, but I care a lot about what other people think of me, and I just crawl into a little shell, and I don't want to make anybody sad.
I mean, I really feel that, but like,
I wish that I was actually like a badass. Like,
I really want to point out Delicia's comment in the chat. I think there is a big line between finding your finding your yum problematic, finding your you. Yeah, 100%. Like, I think we can tell the difference. If we can't, people will tell us. Have conversations about it.
There's a lot of discussion in the chat, but this is like widespread along the community as well. So I think it's important we touch on this. There are a lot of sex workers and just regular cosplayers that cosplay characters that are underage. How do you handle that? Because I mean, I think I've done it. I think Misty from Pokemon might be. I'm not sure.
Like all the Disney princesses and stuff. I think if you just make it known in your content and through your storyline that you're an adult version of that character, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, unless your storyline's getting creepy and like focusing on an age, then I think the lines get great. But,
Wednesday Addams. I agree with that.
I feel like if you can't tell that I'm an adult woman doing an adult cosplay of an adult character, I'm like, why are you here? Obviously, I'm not like a child, and I'm not getting to be one. So,
I think that's another fine line. You might put something out there, and the sex work community decides that day that we're going to cancel everyone that's doing it. I'm almost 30, and it's like obvious that I'm not like a child, and I'm also like I'm fetishizing my fantasies that I've always had, you know. So we're all adults, and like we probably fetishized like Lola Bunny from Space Jam. So I'm gonna do that because
doing it in a safe adult space. Like, what's the problem?
It's something that you have to make that decision if you can handle if somebody's gonna make a comment to you or not about it. I think, or you could just avoid it.
Whatever floats your boat.
Do what?
I said whatever floats your boat.
Yeah. Okay, so we're talking about community, which we've been focusing on. I think we need to focus on like some negative stuff with it because it's a thing that happens, you know. With cosplaying, though, on online sex work, there is a whole community out there that is in person with conventions and things. We're like our own little group that's a little bit separated from that. How would you suggest somebody that's not even involved, how could they get involved with digital cosplaying, especially like in our niche of like the porn industry?
Nowadays, I find like I've just recently within the last couple of months started using Reddit, and I find there's so many pockets of little different cosplay communities on there. There's so specific like parody cosplays, horror cosplays, cartoon cosplays. You can find like subreddits for everything, and you'll find a whole group of people that absolutely love the same thing that you do. So, yeah.
Anyone else?
I started pretty much at conventions and stuff like way before sex work and everything, so it's a little weird, especially as an adult. I just went to a convention like 2 years ago before COVID happened, and I was like, oh, we're not allowed to talk about sex here. It was so weird. But
there's actually a lot more featured cosplays than you think that are sex workers that are working those conventions.
I saw a panel for like a booth that had like R18 sex workers for like cosplay, and I was like, oh my god, yes! It was the highlight of the whole trip.
Yeah, I utilize Reddit too. I need to utilize it more. I highly recommend Reddit. I get cosplay ideas from Reddit a lot. I avoid places like 4chan and 9gag, even though I'm on there, because the comments will really bring you down. You might have like a
they're so mean.
They're real fucked up. Reddit is generally, even though it has a reputation for being a cesspool, is generally positive in my experience. If I'm following the subreddit rules, and they were the ones that came up with Marjorie Tyrell. I would have never thought to cosplay that. And they were all like in the comments, do that. And it was one of the best business decisions I made.
You killed
just like her.
I would have never in a million years touched that, except the boys on Reddit said to. I recommend Reddit. Highly, highly, highly recommend it.
Me too.
Customer is always right.
I think that getting involved though I get most of my sales and paying fans, I think, from Twitter. What about y'all? Where do you get yours, you think, from? And how are you doing that?
I just use Twitter
I just
too.
make sure that I post like every day, post something new if you can, or even just recycle through your old content. A lot of times bring like Throwback Thursday or whatever, and just post like an older cosplay from forever ago, and the boys eat it up.
Yeah.
I also use Twitter to advertise, and same with Reddit as well. And Instagram, but I don't find I pull as many customers from Instagram as I do on Twitter.
Instagram sucks for me.
Yeah.
The worst.
I used to be really heavily involved in like the Instagram cosplay community, and I was banned for 2 years, so I'm not a part of it anymore. But Twitter is like where I think that is the most beneficial. And I find that like if you're new and you want to build a cosplay audience, if you just start randomly, if you find cosplayers that you like and you start retweeting them, they'll notice your stuff, and if they like it, they'll start retweeting you too, and you'll have like this unidentified little retweet group, and that's going to help expand your audience so much. I even think reaching out to other people that you're friends with and you like and saying, hey, do you want to like start a retweet group and just start retweeting each other's stuff? That's going to help you broaden your audience so much. How do you guys expand your cosplay audience?
The only
still learning.
thing I learned is
So you guys that's what you're doing is Twitter. I've been utilizing Pornhub as well recently, and I'm shocked. I'm not shit on Pornhub, but the few views I have, those people are coming to my chat room. Like, I saw you on Pornhub, even though it only has like a few thousand views. The traffic on there is insane, and I know it's scary because it's like everyone's on Pornhub. Like your dad or some shit might find it, but you can expand your audience on there so much, I think.
I would really recommend, if you're going to utilize Pornhub, a really great way to show off your cosplays without like giving like a bunch of stuff away for free is doing like a cosplay compilation. And anything compilation wise always I feel like does pretty well, especially if it's like really messy and like cum shots and stuff. But I have a couple cosplay compilations up there where it's just like a minute of each video. And you guys really like that because they'll see a bunch of cosplays. They might like a bunch of them and then want to purchase them and stuff. So
that's a great idea. I've just been doing my trailers, and I'm gonna do that.
Do it.
Someone asked, how do we get these people from Pornhub or Twitter to like our paid sites? What are y'all doing? I have some advice for that.
Sometimes I offer incentives, like on a certain day on Twitter, I'll say, hey, if you join like my fan site and you message me this word, I'll give you a free video or a free photo or something like that, just to kind of pull them in.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Are you guys?
I'm kind of learning right now, actually.
Okay,
These are some of my weaknesses, so I'm kind of letting you guys talk.
Yeah.
Fun on my Pornhub too. When you have free videos up on Pornhub, you can say that it's a trailer, and then it can connect it to your model hub. And if a guy's going to your model hub, he's probably going to be interested in checking out the different links that you have there, which could lead him to like Twitter, Instagram, ManyVids, whatever else you're on.
So Pornhub doesn't allow you to have descriptions, which is so annoying. So I utilize the title, like if you say stuff like Catjira's cosplaying, Catjira Chatterbait girl cosplaying this, they're gonna see Chatterbait and be like, oh, she's a cam girl. But when I post the videos, I'll edit some and I'll just like randomly have these little pop-ups that's like, hey, give me a thumbs up, just like YouTube, but I apply it to Pornhub. And
That's a good idea.
or I have like a little thing that pops up. I have I use what's it called? Like I make my own URLs or whatever. So like KatjiraCams.com takes you right to Chatterbait. I'll just have that pop up and just be like, come check me out on cam if you like my shit. Or like this, I do cam show recaps. And then I funnel them to my chat room. And then like when you're in my chat room, you're probably gonna have so much fun there and tip me anyways. But because that's my job, is to cultivate and like get tippers. On Twitter though, I just did something last night. I used the new fleet feature, which I'm not really good at. But I said, hey, are you reading this? In my fleets. And then the next post, it was like, my OnlyFans is on sale right now. And only the people that are seeing my fleets know about it. And I had so many signups. And they only, so like I try to train people to look at certain things and then offer sale. Like only my free OnlyFans sees this sale, or only my Instagram story sees this. And it gets people to check your stuff. And it usually gets them to like join for some reason. At least for me, that's what's helpful.
I think that's such a hack, is just like treating this like a game and like offering exclusivity, achievement unlocked, like that rush that it impacts us all, and especially when you're trying to make sales. So yeah, we're fucking smart. Love that.
Yeah. Do you guys find that there's like trends right now too? So I am always focusing on trends, even though I don't follow them, because they're becoming more and more, in my opinion, a lot of work. Like I see cosplayers doing TikTok and stuff, which is another controversial type of topic where people think that you shouldn't be promoting yourself or your personality on TikTok. What do you guys? How do you pay attention to these trends, or do you think that these trends are real? How do you feel about it, and how do you pick out what's a trend, and what do you think is trending right now?
I'm terrible at this. I have nothing to say.
I just mostly pick characters that I like. I don't really follow the trends. I mean, I'll notice them, but I don't, you know.
So what are you noticing? Because I notice it's not just character trends. Like I notice that too, where everyone's cosplaying the same thing at once.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is how people are marketing that character. Like there'll be like a random TikTok dance that like everyone's doing, so you do the character in that TikTok dance or whatever and then post it, and that's like the trend that's going on right now. I'm also finding that high quality professional content does not as well as like phone Snapchat filtered.
I find the same. Which is so frustrating.
That is like, if you want to succeed, you're not going to succeed right now by doing professional, polished stuff.
No, they want the Snapchat filters. It's like, kill me now.
It angers me a little bit.
Yeah.
That is definitely something that I've been noticing in my content lately. And it's so frustrating because like, I really like think of myself as an artist. So like, thinking of like bringing my quality down just for someone else's dick to get hard, like that makes me so mad. Like, no, fuck you.
Do you do it? Or are you guys like, fuck y'all, I'm doing what I want to do? How are you?
I do a mix.
Yeah.
Like
I'll satisfy them with like a few Snapchat quality things, but for my main stuff, I'm not going to sacrifice quality. That's too good for them.
I do, yeah. A lot of the stuff I'm like trying to make perfect behind the scenes or whatever. It does not need to be. I'm spending too much time. I just
They always look so good.
Huh?
They always look so good though.
Thank you. Yeah, but I feel like sometimes maybe you get caught up in the details and you kind of feel like it's more for you than it is for your audience sometimes. Yeah. It's good and it's bad because you're learning. Like the more work you're putting in, the more hacks you're learning, like the more experience you're getting and skills in other areas and with different cosplays later. But sometimes I just need to just pull my tits out and good.
Are you guys doing a lot of cosplays in a month? Like if we're pushing out lower quality stuff, we can push out more cosplays, right? So where's the balance and what are you guys, like what are your numbers exactly? How many are you doing?
I have a problem and have zero balance. So like in October I think it was like 12 or 13 cosplays. And this month I'm like, no, we're done for now. We need a break. So I'm trying to figure that out still. I'm not good with that.
That's how I am too. Halloween month is cosplay month, so.
Yeah.
I love cosplaying all the time. It's always great to like revisit a cosplay when it's not the holidays and I'm bored and I don't know what to do. And I just pull out an old cosplay and do a completely different fetish in a different video, and that helps so much.
Yeah.
So I'll do like a lot.
Yeah.
I have new Christmas stuff coming. I'm so stoked.
Are you like reusing a lot? Do you guys reuse a lot of stuff? Like redo things constantly? Or are you handling that?
I'll try to.
Sorry, I finally retired these mannequin heads that I've used in like 6 different cosplays, and like they're so obvious, and I know my fans must realize by now, and I really it was hard. It was hard.
We're a crafty folk.
Yeah.
I try to at least get like 5 to 10 videos out of each costume.
Yeah.
Because then it pays for itself, you know?
Exactly.
So
different, like full different kinds of videos where like you're doing different fetishes.
Yeah, I know I have like, I think like 11 Catwoman videos. I have like a taboo one. I have like BJ stuff. You know, typical villainous kind of themed videos, and you just gotta, you know, diversify each character, I think.
And you can always redo stuff. Like my very first cosplay, like I've been cosplaying my whole life, but my first like sex worker cosplay was Lady Vader, and it wasn't very good. And I'm currently like redoing her, so I want to make her perfect. But like you could totally just redo and add and bring a character back to life. It's
yeah, definitely.
I feel like something really important to think about too is if you're filming and you want to do multiple clips, like set a day and dress as that character and pound out a couple clips, and then you'll have different content to just drop anytime you want. Yeah. But like it'll be different.
That's something I haven't been doing, and I think I need to be doing that. Where I've noticed that some cosplayers will do that, like they'll have one video that's just like purely a blowjob video in this character, and then they'll make like another video, and I have dropped the ball on that. I haven't been doing that. That's a really good idea.
It's a great way to just keep that cash flowing.
Yeah. And to like really utilize the cosplay, not just put it all into one stock video and then that's it. Like, because there might be different stuff out there for everyone. You're doing like very specific fetish niche stuff in the cosplays too, to like hit every part of your fan base and their fantasy.
If you kind of like think about it, like a series too, like you can release episode 1, episode 2, like or have like a continuing storyline, part 1, part 2, because then they're gonna want to keep getting the rest of the story. Because that's why we're drawn to these characters in the first place, is that we love their story.
Yeah.
And you can reuse characters for like, if you already did a solo video as that character, you could do like a boy-girl video as them too.
Yeah. And you could set that video aside too for, you know, October or a couple months down the road. So it's you're stockpiling content, you know, in case of emergency or something, you know?
Yeah.
Are y'all doing that?
I do.
I did that last year, but I need to get back on that because that was a lifesaver. Like I was working on October content in March, I think last year.
Yeah. It really helps. You never,
so you guys
know.
Up stuff like you have it filmed and you have like a little like you have a pantry of stuff that you can reach out in and post when you need or when you're sick.
And yeah, if you need like a mental health break, that's the perfect time. You just like grab some content from there and you don't have to stress.
Yep. I'm trying to get a year ahead.
I post my shit like while I'm filming it and just put it all out there. Do you do that or do you hoard stuff and keep it secret?
Sometimes I hoard, but it's so hard to hoard. You just get so excited. You want to be like, look what I did. But
yeah. I try to at least save one.
Okay.
So, like, I'm working on Halloween stuff for next year already.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Just because of COVID. Just because of COVID. Because I don't really have a whole lot of opportunity to film, which is weird. I have my reasons, but yeah. It really helps, you know. You don't know if you're gonna get sick or if you're just gonna need a mental health break. I've been struggling with seasonal depression this year, so I don't always feel like shooting. But it really helps.
So getting rid seems to be like a really good idea.
Yes.
And you guys have done it and experienced it, so you know that it's like actually really helpful to do.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't do that. I need to do that.
You'll thank yourself once you start doing it, for sure.
Yeah. Damn. Does anybody else I didn't realize that we're like at the hour almost.
Oh, geez.
Should we do Q&A?
So much from like you guys. This is crazy. But and then I'm like, oh shit, I thought I was on top of my stuff, but no, I'm not. How do you guys get motivated to get dressed up? Oh, that's hard. That's my biggest problem in life is putting on makeup, which sounds like first world problems, but it is. And it's seasonal depression and what's going on, I think.
Sometimes it helps if you're doing a character from like a movie you love, like put on that movie. You'll just get, you want to become them, you know? Like
the soundtrack, that's what I do.
Yes, music.
A little weed and music helps everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have noticed that I don't want to do anything. And when the last couple weeks when I'm feeling good, I just do it. And that's been, I'm like, oh, thank God, you know, because there's definitely been weeks this year where I'm like, I don't want to do anything right now. I think that it's important to not be so hard on yourself about it because I think a lot of us are feeling that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's been like a huge struggle this year, for sure.
Yeah. Putting on the movie, though, I do that too. I didn't want to like admit that I do that kind of stuff. I don't know why. Or like the soundtrack, and then I get hyped up.
You have like your own hype party. It's the best.
That's a really good idea, actually. I'll start doing that.
The accents that you do for different role plays like ever stick with you. Like I've had a Southern accent a bit enough to the character. I practice so much, and now I just talk it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Adorable.
I love that. Does anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, someone asked what our best-selling cosplay videos are.
Okay, I'm very curious.
Mine is I did Indiana Jones. Yeah, so I don't know why, but it's an outdoor video too, so maybe that it's like the public aspect to it, but that one just sells like crazy for me.
Okay.
I already answered in chat, but Poison Ivy, for sure.
Oh, that's mine too. And I didn't know if it was because like that video is like really good. It's like 18 minutes, super hardcore dirty talk, but it's also inexpensive. It's my most inexpensive video. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It also got leaked everywhere, which was incredibly helpful when it did happen. And then now I have the trailer up on my Pornhub and I have it linked to the paid video. And that is my most sold, most viewed on all my platforms. And it's old and it's not that great. And I have acne and stuff, but I don't know what the factor is for it, if it's a number of those things. But Poison Ivy for me as well.
She's popular.
Mine is Goofy movie.
Yo.
Really?
It's amazing.
I remember her growing up, so like it's a fantasy of mine.
My most populars are probably Toga or Bruzette. I think everyone likes the blonde hair and the white hair and the fangs.
I love your boozette.
Thank you.
Me too.
Thank you.
Okay, well, y'all, we're like at an hour already. I feel like we could talk all day about this stuff.
Yeah,
Like, can you just make like a podcast?
I hope that everyone in chat, I hope that this was helpful. And I like learned so much for this.
I learned too, for sure.
Yeah, these are crazy. Like doing panels and stuff, I learned so much every single time. You guys are amazing. And thank you for the advice. And if I start like copying it, mind your business. Does everyone want to like say your Twitter or like where they can find you?
Oh, yeah. I'm just gonna type it in the chat.
Yeah,
perfect.
Me too.
Yeah. I don't, these are like awkward like endings, but yeah, if you guys, anyone can reach out to me anytime if you have any questions about anything. And I'm sure everyone here is so friendly. So
fun.
those are awesome. And if you guys like our panel, tweet about it. So that way, I don't know. I like love kissing ass. So yeah.
This was my first panel and it was absolutely fun.
Me too. Thank you.
You guys killed it. You have so much knowledge. And it's cool that we all like have different ideas.
We should start a
Hopefully
Discord.
next time we can do it in person and not
We should
virtual.
start like a cosplay like,
Discord? Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's make a podcast.
All right.
Oh, that'd be fun.
We're going to yell at to hang up next time.
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.